You're listening to the Rising Lightworker Diaries, the podcast where awakening souls reclaim their truth, rise in frequency, and remember why they're here. Hello, beautiful ones. Welcome to today's episode. I'm Natalie Restored, your Lightworker mentor, and we're going to talk about another important aspect of rising as a Lightworker. Actually, I would say it's rising as a human being, but we are really focusing on deep work, intuitive expansion, and the journey, the high and the lows, the moments of joy, the moments of clarity as we awaken to our divine selves. So today we're focusing on becoming the light. We're meant to be really following the sacred journey, a journey of surrendering, a journey of remembering who we are. And it can be challenging, and it has been for me. And before I dive into this topic, let's relax. Let's dive into a deep relaxation. And whatever I share today, allow it to awaken something in you. Maybe some of my experiences will resonate with your own, and I invite you to comment. I would love to hear from you. I mean, I'm alone here speaking, but I'm speaking to you and I'm awakening with you. So your experience is important. And feel free to either share it in my Facebook group on Facebook or send me a DM or an email. I'll be very happy to hear more about you. So let's take a deep breath. Let's close our eyes. And take a deep breath in through the nose, releasing completely, like a big, big sigh of letting go, a big allowing the whole day or the past week, the past days to vanish and to attune to the frequency of today's message with your heart center rather than with your mind. Your heart center becomes the receiver of today's transmission, giving you the permission to be vulnerable, to be authentic, to remember your experiences, your journey, and also to potentially pinpoint areas of your awakening that require more attention, more healing, and embracing them without fear. Just saying, this is where I am. It's not right, it's not wrong, this is where I am. I'm glad to know others are experiencing this. So take yourself in a space, however the space looks like to you, in a space where you feel safe, where you feel comfortable, where it's joyful, harmonious. Maybe images and visions are coming to you, and that's fine. You might see yourself meditating and relaxing. That's fine. And let my voice and my experiences become your inner voice and bring light onto areas of your own journey that have been forgotten, have been dismissed or hidden. So today's transmission is as much as a healing journey than it is a journey of remembering who you are and who you're becoming. So it has been a challenge for me. Well, of course, we can talk about the fact that energies are shifting, and of course the world is going and transformation itself, So everything that isn't aligned with growth actually is resurfacing. You cannot hide it. not only in the collective, but within our hearts. It's not always easy. Everyone's feeling it. My clients, my loved ones, and myself. And if I was really honest, and I want to be, I would say that the last 5 years have been the most challenging but rewarding, the most confusing but the most teaching, the most uplifting, the most revealing years of my life. But those 5 years felt really like 20 years, like a condensed timeline where each year brought new layers of awakening. And I thought I had healed. I thought I had understood. I thought I had mastered. And that's only to realize that every event was reminding me of what I'm truly here to master, personally and intuitively. So what slows everyone's intuitive growth, and without exception, I believe, is unhealed trauma. The trauma we carry within, the personal, the collective, the karmic, the ancestral trauma. So we live in a world still run by systems, and now they're crumbling, they're dissolving, and they know they're dying. These systems shine brighter, or at least it appears like they're more obvious. Their corruption, their manipulation, their control seems more obvious. Not because they're more powerful, but because actually it's the bright light of desperation, the bright light before the final breath, the final gaze into this world. So they're, of course, hoping that we'll continue to believe in the illusion of domination, of control, even though they promise protection. But in the end, what they really truly offer is fear. And that fear of standing apart, of walking your unique path, of trusting your own values, is what we are collecting healing now. And that's big. We were raised to believe that our uniqueness wasn't valid unless it did fit into the mainstream. And lightworkers are so out of the mainstream. So we feel this weight, this density on us even more. So while that may feel, overwhelming, it's also liberating. Because in that void, in that unknown, I don't want to say void. I mean, I'm using void because it's used, but in the end, it's just a transition. It's a moment of transition where you hesitate letting go of what is familiar, even though you don't resonate with it. But because you're unsure of what's on the other side, it feels like stagnation, stillness, and still you feel the movement, but it doesn't always go where you thought it would go. And that kind of uncertainty generates fear, and this is what we're healing, this fear of not knowing. So what was mistook once for security is really being dissolved and really stripped away. And it's revealing who we are underneath. The old system is dying, we know this. And its last breath is loud. It's bold. It's insistent. But it's the last breath. It may take a while to witness this long stretched breath. But it is its last breath, its last moment So true self-worth, I think, and evolution really comes from within. Both come from within. And we're really at a turning point in history. I do admit that sometimes it feels like it's a solitary journey, inner journey. But healing is not a race. It's a sacred individual path. You grab what you need from everything that is being shown out there. And you take the time you need. You show up as you are, without trying to perform perfectly. Everyone is a work in progress. Everyone is new. You are the newborn and you're the parent at the same time. So you see yourself giving birth to a new inner child, and this new inner child will finally have all the space and the latitude he or she needs to grow in alignment with their true nature, which is a multidimensional nature, a highly intuitive nature. So by being your parent, the parent of this new child that you have been bearing within you for so long, but by being the parent of this child, this new you are and can decide which values and beliefs and experiences you want this new self to go through. You don't have to inherit unconsciously what your parents and culture and society imposed. You know what doesn't work for you. Why would you expose yourself again to this? So being the parent and the newborn at the same time is a journey that is quite interesting. Usually we get the help of a therapist over a few years to help us do this. But right now we're becoming the client and the therapist at the same time. And of course, you can always ask for help, but everything happens a lot faster. Those who are on this journey will heal a lot faster. All you need is dedication. All you need is really the desire to heal what is heavy, whether you have identified it or not yet. Since 2020, the shift has really become increasingly visible. What we're seeing is it's not just a collapse, it's really an ignition before rebirth. Or I should say it was an ignition. 20 to 25 was putting or charging the battery, seeing how far it would take us, seeing how we can use and how we can work with a new fuel. 2025 and onward is actually the rebirth, complete rebirth. So personally, my intuitive abilities have increased a lot since 2020, even through hardship. And I'm grateful because now, like many of you, I realize that I'm rebuilding myself step by step, day by day. And that rebuilding requires healing. I had a few health issues and I could not work the way I did, even though it was profound, even though it was successful. Something in my body was telling me there's no joy anymore, or the joy is dissipating. And I resisted. I said, no, it did work for a year, for 2 years. My intuitive powers feel like their optimal expression. Why should I change? But the world is changing so quickly that attaining mastery is not a final destination. It's, you know, it's the how could I put this? It's what attracts you to move forward. It's almost like a bait, you know, you want more, it's there, and destiny always moves it a little bit further and further, so you taste success, but you always have to do it. You always have to move forward. And this movement is exciting when you don't resist. And when you resist, when you say, no, I have built something and I like it, I have clear values and I'm not ready to shift. Well, life, your higher self, will do everything in its power to bring you people, events that are going to shift you, so you become more and more aligned with your mission. And if you don't, incidents, accidents may happen. And this is what happened to me last year. So it's over a year now, when I fell and hit my head on a rock. I was feeling completely different and not myself. There was no way I could work the same amount of hours. There was no way I could hold space the same way. And still, my intuitive abilities were taking me to dimensions I had never experienced before. Connecting to new galactic collectives, feeling this divine wisdom within me. It was powerful, and I'm still in the healing process. And that rebuilding is part of the healing process. It was a little bit hard, and it's still sometimes hard, because I am learning to see how my body responds to events I'm programming. That's why sometimes I'm present and sometimes I need time to regroup. And that's fine. That's totally fine. Now I know. And the more I listen to this new me, to this new baby, and I learn to parent myself, to hold myself and protect myself, then the easier the growth is. Do I fully know where it's going? No. But I feel it. I have visions of it. And as soon as I connect to the visions, I feel an inner peace, as if like, I'm there. I think I'm there. Yes, let's bring this new me into this world. How does it feel? How do I talk about things? How do I express myself? How do I channel? Is it different? And it is. It is different. It's a lot faster. It's a lot quicker. So awakening to self really comes from two essential sources: intuitive empowerment, which is the ability to trust your own guidance, very important, and healing, which is the process of freeing your body, freeing your mind, and your own field of energy from outdated codes. And if you do it lovingly, because you sense the new you emerging and you heal yourself as the blocks are emerging, then your awakening will be a lot softer. And if you resist, which is what I did, it was totally unconscious. I was convinced that I was following the path, but I had signs that I was not fully aligned, and these signs were exhaustion, moments of disconnection, not feeling fully happy or fulfilled with things I used to do. And I completely denied myself the right to remodel everything, because it's true, everything I usually build for my clients, all the containers, are usually quite recent. I like to stimulate myself this way by creating something new. And And realizing that I had created something 6 months ago that was still potent, but it did not resonate with me anymore, or I had to remodel it. Resisting this what led me to the fall, led me to, okay, you don't listen, let's shock you, let's rock you. And the fall was not dramatic. Actually, it was like slow motion. It's just the impact on my nervous system and my brain for a while. My nervous system is still in recovery, so I'm very vigilant. But I learned to rediscover creativity, lightness. I'm a child again. I'm reborn. And the gestation is over for me. And I would say that for most light workers, as we said, there was the incubation and the rebirth, the ignition and the rebirth. Many light workers are in the rebirth and the shock. I have a lot of friends and light workers who are going through either some kind of mental breakdown or burnout or falls. It's crazy. And this is the rebirth. And if you deny yourself this rebirth, more elements will come. It doesn't have to be dramatic. Our resistance makes it dramatic, but it doesn't have to be. So developing your intuitive power gives you your autonomy. That's very important. So don't resist this. It's being unfolded as you allow life to appear in front of you. Developing your intuitive powers allows you really to choose your path. And that's what I promote too. It's becoming intuitively autonomous, so you don't have to always ask somebody, is it the right path? Is it the right way? Am I doing it the right way? It's okay for a while. It's okay a few times in your life. But if you constantly need somebody, and I'm that type of somebody, so I'm not going to say do not work with a coach or a mentor. But at one point, it is important to say, why do I still need somebody? Why? Then we come back. We go back to resistance. Resistance to the change does not allow you to connect to your full intuitive potential. So you doubt, or even if you witness your gifts and you witness the results, the impact you have on others, the fact that you don't let your inner child being rebirthed completely, then you need validation, and that's okay. But at the end of that whole awakening journey, the main goal is to say, most of the time, I trust what's coming through. I understand we all receive upgrades, and sometimes we need somebody who knows that journey better than us. There's always somebody who knows better, who has gone through this. It's important. But then just take time for yourself and integrate all this and see how you respond to this. It's very, very important. And yeah, this whole journey invited me to really go back to simple things: meditation, journaling, short hikes, silence, channeling, being with my pets, simplifying my life actually, because my nervous system is still in recovery. So it is a blessing. It is a blessing. It's a forced blessing, but it is a blessing. Right now, our bodies are also recalibrating faster than ever. So we are releasing so much more of what no longer serves us and what cannot hold the frequencies coming from Gaia, from the galactic realms, from humanity's awakening. The light is here to really reveal what needs to be healed. The same as when you observe the world, it feels like, oh my God, it could be terrifying depending on what you watch, but let's say mainstream news seems terrifying. And again, this is more light showing you what is outdated, the way the light shows within you what is outdated. If you keep resisting, the body will speak louder. The body needs to heal. So there's more space for the light, for the new you to expand. So the inner child that you have rebirthed, or you're in the process of giving birth to, need this space to grow within you. It's using your physical vessel to move through life. But it needs space for it to grow without any boundaries. And the boundaries that may be existing are your fears, your trauma, your beliefs, and your values. And if they're outdated for this new you to grow, then life will happen in a way that you will need to face it somehow and heal it. And that's all our work now. To let the old version go, to surrender, to trust the path that is really opening. Even if it's an unfamiliar, even if it doesn't look like anyone else's. You do not need to copy anyone. If there's something you will learn is that as you grow within, you don't look like yourself. I mean, it doesn't look like the old self, I should say. It's you, of course, but you cannot always refer to who you used to be. So, of course, your journey is unique, and you may observe people and realize, oh, you have experienced this, that looks like me, but your full experience is not totally like mine. So it's important that you observe many people, that you connect with many people, because your journey is potentially the summary of many journeys around here or around you, you see? Your journey matters because you matter, and because someone somewhere needs to hear your truth, really raw, authentic, and in motion. So you need to be in motion. I want to thank you for being here. I want to thank you for listening. And I want to thank you for allowing me to speak to you and allowing our souls to rise together. And if you feel you need some support, well, I do offer a free activation called Stairway to Awakening. It will help you connect to your most aligned timeline. And this most aligned timeline is what your inner child, growing inner child, needs right now. So you can envision and see and connect to that timeline where you have mastered everything you need to master. I will put the link in the show notes. It's totally free, and I do invite you to listen to it as often as you want. This activation will allow you to feel at peace with every step you take, with every milestone you reach. And it will help you connect to a wise aspect of yourself that will give you the guidance and the answers you might need as you parent your new inner child. I say new because it's you, but with more latitude, with more freedom. So until then, I wish you a wonderful day. I hope to hear from you. I would love to hear about your stories, and enjoy the ride. Bye for now.